This is Toledo Symphony Lab, a behind-the-scenes look at the world of classical music from WGTE Public Media and your Toledo Symphony. I'm Brad Cresswell. Joining me today are the Toledo Symphony's president and CEO, Zach Vassar, principal second violin and artistic administrator, Merwin Sue, and the TSO's marketing director, Felicia Canny. And we also have a very special guest. Wait for it. That is 13ABC News personality Tony Geftos. Welcome, Tony.
Yay.
Hey, thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
I am so intimidated to be between the two of your voices right now.
Personality. No.
Yeah, news personality. How else would you characterize yourself?
Well, definitely not journalist.
Yeah, definitely.
Is the term anchorman out of vogue now that the movies came out?
No. But
Right.
you can just,
Do you
whatever
embrace
you
it?
want to call me.
Yeah.
That's fine.
But again, it goes beyond, just like what we're doing here. It goes beyond just being an anchor man, right? You're a personality. You have social media engagement. You have lots of different public speaking engagements, and what you're doing right here, collaborating with the symphony.
That's right. Yeah.
So
Influencer.
Influencer.
Yes.
Well, we're not going to go back and redo that. So, anyway, the reason that we are all here today is. That's all I can play because the music is
5
under
seconds of Star
copyright, as we
Wars.
know. But everybody should be able to recognize what that is. Let's say it all together.
Indiana Jones.
No, I'm sorry. That's wrong. We're talking about Star Wars, of course. This has been going on for some time now. You guys have been, advertising the fact that the symphony is playing the soundtrack to the actual movie. A New Hope, we should say. The fourth movie in the franchise,
The
which is really the first
1977
movie in
film
the
is
franchise.
very confusing. Otherwise,
Yeah.
it's the fourth movie, but the first one, so you just say the one from 1977.
I
go
love
with
this, though.
Original. The original Star Wars.
The original Star Wars.
Yep.
It's sort of like the different overtures that Beethoven wrote for Fidelio. He's got
It is
four different
nothing like
overtures.
that at all.
And we say number one was actually written, third and that sort of thing.
Classical
Just like
music
it.
and numbering has never been really a strong point.
Not
so
their
I think,
strong suit.
So yet another similarity between the Star Wars and the classical music canon.
Yeah. Okay, so somebody set the scene. Tell us about the concert. Who wants to take the lead on that?
So, as part of our 75th anniversary season, we are presenting this film and orchestra play-along at the Huntington Center. So, there's going to be a massive screen over the orchestra, and this is over a very large orchestra, a 70-piece orchestra, and they will be playing the soundtrack along with the movie.
This is similar to what we've done with West Side Story in the fall. We did it last year with Singing in the Rain. We've done it with Nightmare Before Christmas. We did it with Wizard of Oz. So this is probably the biggest scale that we've tried this sort of movie experiment where we write or we show the movie and then play the soundtrack live to the movie.
Yeah. But this is really, this is an event. It's not like people are going to show up to West Side Story dressed as Tony and Maria. This is...
You never know.
I thought I was
Some may.
Tony would do that.
Yeah.
Dress up as Maria.
Tony from the movie.
I know,
not
I got
from-
it. Gosh.
Not 13ABC News personality.
Get it?
Hey.
Yeah.
But no, this is an event. We're doing a concert at the arena, and I'm sure that there will be a lot of costumes there. We have a costume contest. We've had school children play with their bands and orchestras trying to get into the performance. We're trying to really wave the flag to 75 years with a huge audience at the arena.
Yeah, and the last time the symphony, correct me if I'm wrong, played was Ode to Joy at Huntington Center.
Yes,
Yeah.
that was
So
2014.
That was our 70th anniversary, yeah.
then that was a big deal.
And then you were hosting that.
I was
right?
there, yeah.
And I did something too. I can't remember what it was. I talked about Beethoven, something like that. Yeah. And I looked out into the audience, and everybody looked at me like, okay, let's get it moving here. Just like the podcast, right?
I
Wow.
was going to say there's some real parallels here.
Yeah. Anyway, so just to reiterate, it's happening this weekend. It's happening May 4th, which of course is Star Wars Day. May
And how
the
perfect,
4th.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is at 8 o'clock p.m. at the Huntington Center. Costume contest at 7:15, right? So if you want to dress up in a costume, you can enter the contest. More information at ToledoSymphony.com or 419-246-8000. Now, I asked you all to figure out your Star Wars name. You know how you always see this quiz on social media, and I know that you did, Felicia. You did yours. What's your Star Wars name?
I'm the only one who does the homework.
I did the homework. I'm ready to go.
Okay. Well, let's hear your Star Wars name, Felicia.
Falca? I don't know the last.
Falca, that's it?
I think so, right? Falca?
Falca.
Felka.
Felka. Yes.
Falca is a character in the opera Deflator Mouse, you know.
Excellent.
Yeah. Wonderful.
You
We're
are
off to a
a
good
bat.
start. The bat, yeah.
What's your last name?
Brad. What's my last name?
Your last name in Star Wars speak or your regular last name?
In Star
Either.
Wars.
I'm actually now really intrigued.
Okay. All right, guys. Here we go. I'm going to give you the algorithm. It's easy to do. You each have a pencil and you have a piece of paper there. This is what you do. To find your Star Wars name, take the first 3 letters from your first name. Write that down. And the first 2 letters from your last name. That's your first name right there. You're in Star Wars speak.
This is also a great way to make a password for the internet. Yeah.
Wow.
Don't. Everyone knows my password.
Yeah, Tony has to change his password now.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then to make your last name, you take the first 2 letters from your mother's maiden name, okay, and then you add the first 3 letters of the city you were born in, and that's your last name.
I'm just wondering, what if you only have 2 letters in your first name, or you were born in a city that only had 2 letters in it?
Well,
I knew you were going to ask this.
I mean, does it break the Star Wars universe?
it might. I don't know.
In a galaxy
Then
far,
you-
far
the
away, we would never
Space-time
know.
continuum.
Yeah. Now we're getting into Star Trek territory, which by the way, I want to ask you
It's
about
confusing.
Sure.
eventually, because of all of us here, you know, some of you have special skills. I mean, Merwin was in the Avengers. He was in the actual Marvel Cinematic Universe. Tony, you interviewed William Shatner not too long ago,
I did.
which must have been quite an experience.
It was just a bizarre, fascinating evening that we shared with 2,000 people.
Yeah. What was the strangest thing that you noticed about Captain Kirk?
Well, it was just how much like my dad and my uncles he was. You know, I mean, he's 87 years old, and we hung out for about a half hour beforehand in the green room, and he was just
Like a normal
so much like
person.
somebody, in my family.
That's great.
And so then when we went out on stage, it was actually
Comfortable,
I guess
yeah.
eerily comfortable. Just I was expecting more nerves, but it never happened. I think.
Sorry,
that,
did you say
it's got
nerves or nerds?
Yeah, there were tons of those.
Okay.
But it was, and then I tell people this story, but when we were in the green room, he had all these individually wrapped white mints, and he was like, "You want some of these?" And I thought he grabbed a handful of them, he put them down, and I was like, "Oh, he's just offering them to me." But he unwrapped and ate them all while we were talking. He was and he ate about 24 mints.
Were you counting?
Yeah, because I had to stop looking at him, like, wow, what's going on?
Wow.
William Shatner's just going to town on these mints. And then there was this big pile of wrappers at the end. He's like, okay, all right, we're going to move on.
Now I'm ready.
Yeah.
It's the secret. The secret to longevity, right?
Yeah, and fresh breath.
But were they were they thin mints?
No, like the peppermint, the wintergreens, you know?
But,
Yeah.
Did you see a spark?
There it was, yeah.
Yeah, nice. Okay, getting back on
That's an old
topic.
school. Hey, try that at home. If you've never tried it, go into the bathroom, turn off the lights, chomp down really hard on one of those, and they spark.
Yeah, it's sort of like the poor man's lightsaber right there. Right?
Wow, what a segue, Brad. Well
Yeah.
done.
Yeah, let's get back on point now. So we're talking about Star Wars name. Now, Merwin, you're sitting there, arms crossed, staring at your paper. I know you don't seem to be very happy with your
I'm
Star
really
Wars
not. My first name is fine as Mercy, which, I'm
Mercy?
totally,
Nice.
yes. But YEEDM is really tricky, and I'm
Yeedem.
going to
Well, you have
Yeah,
some vowels.
there. That's very
name. Mercy Edom. Easy. Mercy Edom. That's
Well, see, this is what distinguishes the professionals from us amateurs over here.
Yeah, and we know that you are Falco, right?
Falca.
Falca. Did you do your last name or no?
I did. I don't know how to say it though, but it's
Oh, again, what's Olivia to professionals? GICLE.
yeah.
Gicle.
Yes.
Gilkle.
Okay, well, that failed.
Falca Gilkle. Okay, I've forgotten yours already, Merwin. Zach, what was yours?
I have a good one. I'm of course, Zakva. Zakva Ratol.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's a good one.
Yeah.
I like that. Zach the Rattle.
He gets the applause.
Yeah.
It's more of a death rattle.
It's either that or a Simon rattle.
Oh, no.
No, it's not.
Yeah. This is the thing. Classical music jokes. The only people laughing.
I just want to point out, I was very sad not to be here with the episode that you guys recorded with Scott Boberg because he had a couple real stinkers, and I was sitting in my, had my headset on, and I'm just laughing out loud at these things, knowing that if I were here, we would have had a very different reaction to those jokes.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah.
Well, we can invite Scott back, right? But we have Tony, so I'm sure that we'll have plenty of jokes.
Oh, yeah. Just killing it over here. Yeah.
Speaking of which, let's get your Star Wars name, Tony.
I think I may have done it wrong, but I have Tonos. It was the last two letters of your last name, right? Did I do that right?
Yeah, good enough.
Okay. It kind of reminds me of Thanos.
No,
so.
it's actually the first two from your last name.
Okay.
So Toga.
Toga. That's not as cool.
I know.
Unless it's a toga party.
That's true. That's true.
It's kind of like Falca and Toga, right?
Right.
We could be a team.
You guys are from the same planet.
I thought of Rock Me Amadeus as soon as you said Falco. So
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
And the Fledermaus.
what's
Those are
your
very similar.
Rock Me Johann
Now,
Strauss.
are you wincing because you don't get that reference?
I don't get a lot of references.
Oh wow. Oh wow. Like you've never heard Rock Me Amadeus?
I feel like I'm revealing
no.
too much. I need to hide
Oh
myself.
no.
She's not really a child of the 80s.
Maybe we should hang
I
out
was
a little
born
more.
in the 80s. We
Yeah.
should hang
Yeah.
out more.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway.
Intervention.
Because of that alone.
Anyway, let's get back on the Star Wars topic here. Tony, your last name?
Booyah. Booyah. Toga. Booyah. Toga. Booyah.
So you were basically like John Belushi as a Marine, right?
Pretty much. That sums up my Monday nights. Yeah.
Nice.
Monday's my day off, by the way. I go nuts on Mondays.
Mine was.
This is Wednesday.
This is like the great Santini's,
Yeah.
editor's cut.
That's okay. We can tell people we're recording this on Monday. It's all right. We always pre-record these shows just in case, something goes wrong.
It's an
Which it never
FCC
does.
requirement whenever we have
But-
somebody from 13 ABC.
It's true, but I look forward to Mondays the entire week, unlike everyone else.
Wow.
Yeah, no, I really do. I start my week on Wednesday, and I'm like, I can't wait till Monday. It's going to be fantastic.
That's actually very similar to the orchestra schedule.
All right.
We don't do a lot of Monday concerts.
Yeah.
I don't get days off. Okay. So my name is Bracker Ligel or Bracker Ligel, something like that.
Isn't he a reliever for the Houston Astros?
Could be. Yeah. Okay. Let's set the scene. I've got a couple of different music selections here to try to take us back. I assume everyone here has seen Star Wars, right? How about
Everybody's looking at Felicia.
By the way,
I've totally seen all of them 7 years ago.
That sounded like what they tell you to say when you're in the witness protection program. I have totally seen all of them. Yes.
Yeah. No. Now, how many here actually saw it during the first run back in 1977?
Oh, wait.
I was one.
Who was you
I was
were one?
However, my family cornered the market in illegal videos from movie theaters, and so I did see it, and then went to see Empire Strikes Back as a 4-year-old, and then they re-released the original after Empire, so I went to the theater again and saw the original in between Empire and Jedi. So yeah.
So they were taking video equipment into the movie theater? Is that how it worked? I mean, because
the
it was pretty
bootleg
big in
versions?
those days.
I
Yeah,
think
they did.
sketch artists.
Sure.
It was a really quick sketch artist.
Here's your flip book of Star Wars.
No, actually, we did have, and I was too young to realize it, but we have stacks and stacks of these videos that were not supposed to be, recorded out of the theater. But that's how I saw a lot of. When I was 5 years old, my favorite movie was Caddyshack.
Wow.
Because I saw it over and over. My
I'm just thinking it might
I
not be
know.
the most appropriate.
it's not at all. Not
It
at
does
all.
explain a lot.
It does.
This is why you dance like that little
Yeah.
gopher.
So I got that going for me.
Very good.
Nice.
Very good.
So I said llama.
Okay.
Wow.
Back on track.
Okay, here we go. What were we here to talk about again? Star Wars. Star Wars. You know, Star Wars is such a huge cultural event. I was there, actually, in the theater back in 1977. I was 13 years old. I remember vividly the very first episode. Let me pull back a little music here for the 70s. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So, 1977. I remember... I wanted to go see this movie because it made me think of Star Trek. I was hoping the whole time that it was going to be like Star Trek. I was a huge Star Trek fan. I was sitting there with my mom, and I remember talking to the kids sitting next to me, I hope it's like Star Trek. I hope it's as good as Star Trek. And we were just completely blown away after that. And then I would even skip school, and in those days they would let you sit in the theater and stay in the theater for more showings of it. And I think I saw it literally... between 50 and 60 times.
You're going to win the quiz, aren't you?
Each of those first movies. We stayed and saw those over and over and over again. So,
but that was all we had back in the day, too.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, it wasn't like now where a new movie comes out each week. So,
well, yeah, the saturation figure. Let me pull up a little music for you guys, okay? There we go. This will take you back to your first viewing of Star Wars, Felicia.
What?
Can you tell us about that?
What?
It was only yesterday. You should be able to remember it.
Easter 2019. I remember it well.
I remember it like it was...
Okay.
I've seen
Falca.
all of them. I've seen all of the movies.
I know, but I'm asking for your first experience.
My first experience.
Yes.
It
Seeing
was
the movie.
the movie.
Yes.
It was in grad school, and my husband had convinced me to do a movie marathon. And, without kids at that point, we were like, okay, yeah, sure, a movie marathon. So he made sure that he had all of them in the right order and explained everything to me, all of the characters, set up the whole scene. And, yeah, that was it.
Did you watch
awful.
4 first and then go back to the prequels, or did you start with 1 and go up and...
Why are you guys laughing?
Well, it's awful.
Says it
It's
sounds
awful to
awful.
see. It does, because imagine seeing A New Hope and having like midi-chlorians in your head. It's like, the Force is actually just this weird thing that like happened because of this horrible chemical reaction
Excuse
that
me,
was.
She doesn't remember.
Felicia would like to know what a midi-chlorian
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. We have to be so careful not to, be all extremely nerdy. We don't want to out-nerd
too late
ourselves.
now.
Why start now?
I'm surrounded. I feel like I'm surrounded.
Yes.
Those were the particles that somehow interact with the Force, and you can actually tell how much Force someone has.
Wait.
by
That's
testing
not
the blood.
explained in A New Hope.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Okay,
That's
okay,
the
got
entire
it.
point.
Yeah.
Oh,
Whereas,
really?
like,
Okay.
that's
These were-
where you were seeing. If you were seeing The
Right.
New Hope after having seen 1, 2, and 3, that's just an awful order to do.
And it'd be really
That's
strange
true.
to start your Star Wars adventure with Jar Jar Binks.
Oh, he's so
Yeah.
annoying.
Right?
Yeah.
Why would you ever watch 2?
Misa ruined entire saga.
Hey, you know what?
That was Tony. That was Tony.
I don't
No,
need.
that was Zach.
Can we please add
I
that to the
don't. I don't
soundboard?
need a soundboard anymore. We're just gonna have Tony come in and be my wingman for the rest of these.
I feel like you would do a really good Roger Rabbit, too.
I kind of do.
One thing we didn't mention, even though we're 20 minutes into the show already, is that we have a group of we have an audience here today. Felicia, you want to introduce our
Not
audience?
that you would notice it.
Yeah.
Especially on our
No one
been
sees
very-
anything.
They've been very well behaved.
Yes. We have 5 teachers music teachers from Fremont City Schools, and they are joining us for a day of exploration and professional development.
Nice. Are you guys enjoying it so far?
The professional starts later.
Okay. All right, that's enough from you people. Okay, time for our first quiz.
Oh, no.
I have for you an audio quiz. This is not even a multiple choice. I'm just going to... The way that it works is I'm going to tell you how a sound effect was created, and you tell me what the sound effect is.
Oh,
Okay, I think I got this.
Okay, I'm going to tell you what was used. And I'm not necessarily going to give you a comprehensive, recipe for each of these
okay,
sounds.
The
Okay.
answer
I don't
is
think
I'm just going to tell you
cornflakes.
what was used, in them. And let me find a little... Well, let's bring back this music. Here we go.
I have never seen Felicia so excited for a quiz.
He's a former
I
Foley
really like
artist.
getting A's in school.
Yeah.
Here we go.
I think that was your Star Wars name.
This
Foley artist.
Okay. This, thank you. This sound effect was made by combining a car driving on a wet road and an elephant scream. So it has something to do with motion.
Is it the Millennium Falcon?
Oh, I just give you
No.
points for knowing the name.
No, not the Millennium Falcon,
good.
but it is a spaceship. It is a certain kind of spaceship.
Oh, is it?
A TIE fighter?
Yes. Oh, that was my next guess. I was trained yesterday.
Well, it was the elephant scream
Yeah.
that really got it.
Really?
Ostrich, that would have been a totally different.
But what does
different-
TIE stand for?
I don't
Oh
know.
no, that's we're saving that for a later quiz.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
We're doing the extended version of this.
Here's the
aren't we?
next question. This will be easy. What was used to create this sound effect? It was a scuba tank.
Darth Vader.
Darth
Yeah.
Vader breathing.
Felicia's on point.
Which, you know what? I mean, you would think that a sound effect like that, anybody could recreate it, just go like,
Breathing into the
right?
mic.
But they actually trademarked it
Really?
in 2007 because it was being used with knockoff toys and things like that, so they wanted to make sure that they had control over all the merchandising. So we can't recreate that noise.
Back off, Transformers.
Yeah. Right? This sound was famously made by combining a projector motor sound and feedback from a TV tube.
That's a lightsaber.
That is a lightsaber. Good
Can you do the
job.
sound effect?
Yeah. Excellent.
Woom, woom. That's
There's,
the tube
you know-
part.
Oh, wow. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, that's
All
right.
right. There's another.
That's really good.
That's really good. You should do. You should
There's
do
another
sound effects.
$150 right there.
I was in Police Academy. Another 80s reference lost on Felicia.
I was born, okay, in the 80s.
Hey, we're still quizzing.
Oh, sorry.
All right. An Asian sea otter.
What?
Chewbacca.
It's a Wookiee.
It was pitched down, so it's like a slow Asian sea otter. This is
Hey,
a
Why,
You know
why
my
are you
high school
looking at
nickname.
Merwin?
Hey, and you thought they smelled bad on the outside.
Ooh, is it Tauntaun?
It's a tauntaun.
That's-
yeah.
What's that?
That's what they rode in Empire on Hoth.
Yeah.
Wait. Is this all in New Hope?
This was
No.
like before the 1980s. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess we're sticking with the original trilogy.
No, kind of, sort of.
Okay.
Okay.
I
Well,
studied.
except for the next question is not. This an electric toothbrush mixed with car noises. What would that be?
Oh, that's like a pod race.
Exactly. Whoops, sorry.
That wasn't in A New Hope, right?
It's
No.
okay.
It's
These
okay.
are all about Star Wars. I know you've only watched one movie.
Recently,
You're doing-
I've seen them all.
You're doing really
Let that be
well.
on the record.
You're doing really well.
A+.
Okay, this one will be easier. This one will be easier. Combination of these animals: bears, walruses, lions, badgers,
Oh, wait,
and various.
Chewbacca.
So this is the Wookiee.
Yeah. Chewbacca. Okay, radio tower cables struck with a hammer.
That's a laser. A blaster.
Yeah, the blaster.
Pew pew.
Pew pew. Yep.
I'm thinking about like clang, clang.
I actually knew that one, though. I'm such a nerd. We actually talked about it
Yeah.
before.
Really?
My friends and I have discussed how to make laser noises. Yeah.
How high up the radio tower do you have to go?
Isn't it much easier just to do a pew noise with your mouth?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Pepe.
Okay, a braying donkey. A braying donkey.
That's Felicia on the kazoo.
Oh, snap. No, he did not.
Wow.
Wow.
You mean you've been waiting like half a year
Yeah.
for that, and you just pulled it out now?
We booked Star Wars entirely so we could do this joke.
A braying
We're still
donkey.
friends.
A braying donkey. Don't you remember in A New Hope, right? So we're going to see this. You guys are going to be playing the music for it. The Tusken
we're
Raider.
bringing in a donkey.
The Tusken Raider when he's on
Nobody
top of
told us
Luke
this.
and he lifts up his spear and he's like,
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
a braying
Ah,
donkey
okay,
noise.
gotcha.
Wait,
That is
really?
an angry
When
donkey.
was this?
The
Okay.
sand
Remember
people.
Okay, this
Sand people?
sound
Yeah.
effect
The
consisted
Jawa?
of George
Close.
Lucas.
Really? Yikes.
Hey, I'm working here.
You're the only one.
This sound effect featured the sound of George Lucas coughing.
General Grievous.
Yes, very good.
I'm a nerd. I'm a huge nerd.
I can see why you guys brought him along. Okay.
I'm
Okay,
thinking
this
right
next
now, if
one.
I had thought about that for a long, I still wouldn't have gotten it.
I mean,
Is he the guy
I
with the
probably should
white
just stay
hair,
home.
like slicked back?
No,
He's like the
No,
half
Merwin
mechanical, half
Right.
human guy who has like spinning lightsabers when he comes at you.
it's like a really scary octopus.
he's in mostly episode 3.
Yeah, scary octopus. That's
I
good.
think maybe that's all he's in. So yeah.
I've got 2 more of these.
Yoda's not. Okay, never mind.
But I'm just going to do one more. We'll skip this one. Okay. The roar of the Los Angeles Harbor Freeway is captured through a vacuum cleaner pipe.
Ooh,
What would that be? I thought that was really interesting.
A vacuum cleaner pipe.
Yeah.
that may be the Falcon. Is that the Millennium Falcon?
That's not the Millennium Falcon. It's another land-based vehicle
Is it
used
like one
in
of
A New
the-
Hope.
Okay.
YX something something something.
That's the X-wing. Yeah.
No,
Tony-
There's
But it doesn't-
there's an X-wing and a Y-wing and a
but it's
B-wing.
land-based. It doesn't go in outer space.
Oh, do those go in outer space?
In fact, land
speeder.
It's a land speeder.
Got it.
It's Luke's land
Gee, I wonder who won.
speeder.
Now, I
feel like Tony should have just.
I wonder if they use the same sound effect for Solo because they fly a land speeder or whatever.
Oh, maybe.
It hovers slightly above the ground.
It'd be interesting to
don't
see
know.
how much the LA freeway has changed in its.
That's right. All
Because
the
right now
quiet-
it's not
quiet
just a bunch of like
Priuses.
honking Priuses. Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, well, we're going to extend this podcast into the online version, so
Into
we're going
the
to keep
galaxy?
going.
Is that what you
yeah,
mean?
we're
Well,
gonna-
stay tuned because I actually want to hear Zach's story about John Williams.
Yeah. And,
Oh, I have
and
some good
we have
stories.
more John Williams content on the way. But, Tony, I want to thank you for joining us today, for those of us listening on the radio. And also, if you have a last word you want to say about the concert that's happening this weekend, you're going to be there, right, Tony?
Absolutely. Yes, I will be there. I'm going to be the ringmaster before everything starts. And then once it starts, I'm going to enjoy the movie. But make sure you dress up. I don't even know if I need to tell people to dress up because I feel like it's
you-
implicit. You will dress
Yes.
up.
Are you going to be
Dress
dressed
up,
up?
you
Force.
will.
You will.
I guess we know who you're coming as, Merwin.
I'm only allowed to dress in all black. It's this.
He has to
sad
dress up like a
part.
musician.
Yeah, I have to dress up like a musician.
So that's
But
your final word.
What if you dress up? What if you show up like Chewbacca? And
Would it be
Yeah,
great?
I'm pretty sure they'd kick me off the stage.
Can you walk out with a lightsaber instead of a bow and just be like,
Oh no, my violin's sliced in half. This was a mistake.
oh, there goes my arm.
Also my arm, and now my leg. Yeah.
So quickly before we finish up the on-air version here, go through and tell me your favorite character. Merwin,
C3PO.
Felicia.
R2D2.
Zach.
This is why we're friends.
I'm just gonna say anybody but Jar Jar.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
That's yeah.
Yoda. I went
Really?
trick-or-treating as Yoda 2 consecutive years in a row. True story.
Last year,
Yesterday.
I have a follow-up question. Did you actually wear the costume for 366 days then?
Maybe.
Good to know.
And before
Brad,
we
who's
sign
your
off,
favorite character?
My favorite character? Oh gosh, I don't know. I like Darth Vader.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. So I want to talk a little bit about the music, because we're going to be hearing the music live, the symphonic version of A New Hope that's happening this weekend, but also just the music in general. I mean, I think that these films absolutely 100% cannot be divorced from the music. In fact, I remember when The Last Jedi came out, it was possible to get a version of the film with all the dialogue and sound effects removed, and all you had was the music score. And you could watch the movie with the music score and see how John Williams illustrated each, emotive part of the music and how much it adds to the film score itself. So I want to talk about that a little bit. Do any of you want to lead and give us your impressions?
Well, when you go to Wikipedia, the very first thing they call it is a space opera.
Yeah.
That's how
I did notice
they
that.
call it a space opera, and I think really it's extraordinarily interesting to compare the impact of Star Wars with the impact of Wagner's Ring Cycle. It's extraordinarily operatic. It really breaks through these length barriers that people had, like this sense of this is a saga that's going to go across multiple movies, and then of course there's an actual trilogy, a prequel, and then all of these other things. But I think the music has become so iconic. I mean, at the time he was only 4.5, he knew that my son Kai knew the theme before he'd ever seen the movie, and I have no idea how he had come across the music, but he was singing it, and he's going to be playing this with his Suzuki class before. He's so excited.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Do you want to talk about leitmotifs?
Well, unfortunately, I've changed all the leitmotifs into funny Star Wars things for my kids. So it's like Star Wars 3, 2, 1, Star Wars 3, 2, 1, Star Wars.
Can you sing all the
different
leitmotifs?
slur?
We should mention this is like violin speak.
Yeah,
also.
it is totally.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I mean, the Wagner comparison is apt because Wagner would put all these little character themes in the operas so that you would be able to figure out where you are in the opera. And when they're talking about somebody, they even will bring back
Like
their
Princess Leia.
their theme. And if you listen to the Imperial March, you can hear music that's associated with Darth Vader that later shows up in episode whatever as Anakin's theme. So it's just a slowed down, major keyed version of that, and it's beautiful though because that's the creativity that John Williams is putting into this music. So the music really becomes another character in the show.
Well, a lot of people, diss John Williams a little bit by saying, "Oh, he stole from this composer. Oh, he stole from that composer." But I mean, there's no, I mean, the planets, at the very end of Mars, I think I always expect the Death Star to blow up in my face.
Right. Well, Lucas
sounds exactly
famously
like it.
said he was listening to that while he was writing the first movie, and so then that directly got implemented into the whole crescendo of the movie. So
but I think that we can talk about John Williams in terms of being a genius and how he has recycled a lot of things, how he has taken a cue and run with it, really, and just there's no comparison really with what he does with what you see in a lot the films of the
And
time.
especially, do you remember Toledo Museum of Art had this Star Wars exhibit probably 15 years ago? The thing that hit me though is that it was created on a shoestring budget, and that the special effects were as good as they could be in the original, and then recreated digitally when they were re-released in the late 90s or early 2000s. But they still had the London Symphony and John Williams recording this. So the major expense they had in that movie was the music, not the Millennium, and not any of the suits or any of this.
Well, I think especially in that first film, A New Hope, which we're going to see, I think the music plays such an important part in really tying it all together and making it work, right? I mean, first they did a fantastic editing job for that film, but the music itself kind of propels the film forward.
And there's music everywhere. I mean, as Merwin is going to find out very soon.
right.
Has been finding out for weeks.
But I mean, there are points when there's spoken dialogue and it seems to be kind of a dramatic lull, if there is such a thing in the movie, there's still music happening. It's kind of perpetual motion for over 2 hours.
Well, Tony, you have a music background. You're a musician. You play instruments. You're a sax player. And
I thought you said he was a musician.
I know. I was going to say, let's not overstate it.
For the record, I just want to say that our peanut gallery booed me for that one.
Well, they are all music teachers, right? Yeah. So we have to maintain a certain level of decorum here.
Or at least start.
Yeah. Starting now. So, Tony, give us your impression of how the music works with the film.
Oh, wow. I mean, it's in a lot of ways, it is the movie. I mean, everybody knows that because when you hear it, you immediately go to the movie and in your head. So you can visualize what's happening in certain sections of it. It's it's so directly tied to it that you just can't, take one facet away from the other. However, and as Zach was saying, there are these quiet moments where they take out the music and it's so noticeable that it becomes more intense. And so that's part of it. It's the whole
tension building.
Yeah,
that's a great observation. That John Williams uses silences as well, and I'm sure he does this in conjunction with the director of the movies. But if you think about the trailers, right, and especially the trailers for the most recent films, they seem to have a pattern where there's this music propelling you forward, whatever theme it happens to be, and then it builds up to a climax, and then there's silence, and then something happens that is like the mind blower. In A Force Awakens, it was the film, the music, the chase music, the Millennium Falcon, and then silence, black screen, and then you see Chewie and Han. For Last Jedi, the same thing, silence, and then Luke saying, the Jedi must end, and the most recent one with the Emperor laugh coming in, Now, spoiler alert.
Give us your Emperor laugh.
Yeah.
No, let's
Are you
hear
gonna
it.
do that, Merwin?
Come on, Merwin.
Absolutely.
We'll
not.
add this to the sound.
I don't have any helium.
That won't be turning into a
I don't have a
soundboard.
vacuum cleaner.
This is as close as
You
I
have
can
like
get. Right there. Which we should have brought out earlier when we had our sound effects quiz. But that's, Tony, you knew what
That's
that
the
was.
Wilhelm,
Right away.
the Wilhelm scream.
Yeah, which is public domain. That's why we can use it.
That's why they used it in the
Which is we
first
do,
movie.
yeah.
Yeah.
And they started to just work it into all of Lucas's movies, and there's a little nod to all the audio guys out there. And
Didn't
gals.
you say something about there's a different version of it? Or
There's like a second take of the Wilhelm scream, and it is in some of the Star Wars, some of the Lucas
really?
properties that they work it into, and some of the Disney movies even.
Can you recreate
Can you do that
it for us?
Tony?
I can't.
You can do every sound effect except for Wilhelm 2.
Wilhelm 2. We'll have to look that up.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah, Wilhelm alternate take.
That's like the name of your boat. Wilhelm 2.
And I was actually reading about it the other day. It's actually not a guy's name, it's a character's name. And the guy who recorded it had done it years prior to when they used it in a movie. And
Little did he know he would live on in a galaxy far, far away.
right.
A long time ago.
One of the things that's just stunning about how incredibly important the music is there's this very famous clip of the throne room scene with no music whatsoever.
Yeah.
And
And
you
it's
watch
creepy.
you watch those 3.5 minutes of the throne room scene with no music, you start to get itchy.
Yeah.
It's less joyous.
Wrong. Everything is
Yeah.
wrong about that scene.
You're like, I don't
It's
like
true.
this movie after all. Right?
Yes.
Without
And then
the music.
Chewie just screams for no apparent reason. It's very weird.
That's not true, right? Wait.
No, but it seems low budget, though, when you don't have that
It
music
does.
there. You're
Yeah.
like, wow, these are some good actors. Or it seems, uncomfortable and cheap.
Yeah.
It's
Just
something
stand
about
there
it.
and scream.
Yeah.
We'll add the music later. Don't worry, it'll be fine.
Right.
That's sort of like this podcast is created. We'll fix it later.
Speak for yourself.
The
Yeah.
score comes later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Time for our second quiz. This actually is probably a little bit harder. We'll see. We're going to test your we're going to test your Star Wars knowledge on this. Let me just find some good
I'm
music
just going to
for
back
us.
away from the mic then.
Me too.
I think this one calls for the disco beat, right? Bring that up. Okay, this is a quotation quiz. I give you a quotation, you tell me who the character is. Extra credit if you can tell me the movie. Now, this is...
Tony will win.
The first one is easy. It's a trap. Who was that?
Admiral Akbar. That's Jedi.
Yeah.
Come on.
How about him? Okay, here's another one.
Wow.
Here's another one. This is easy, too. Let the Wookiee win.
I'll let
Oh,
you guys
is that
take it.
the
Don't use your hands on the radio.
Oh, yes, that's right. Is that C3PO?
Yeah.
You did it.
Thanks, Tony.
And that's actually in A New Hope, so you'll see it, right?
Got
You're going to
it,
be at
yes.
the concert, right, Felicia?
Oh, yes. I'm
So
not
you'll
missing
see it.
this.
Okay. Here's a slightly more difficult one. This is from the prequel trilogy. That's hard to say.
You're on
Anyway.
radio, Brad.
Brad, you are a professional.
I'm just going to use my hands for that one.
He's holding up three
Okay.
fingers.
Yes. Here we go.
Now
Here's
he's just
the
holding
quiz.
up one.
We won't tell you which one.
Okay. All right. Back on point. All right.
We are dismantling public radio one joke at a time.
Yeah. We're just the people to do it. Okay. You disappoint me. Yoda holds you in such high esteem. Surely you can do better.
Why?
Don't call me Shirley. Shirley.
Leslie
How
Nielsen.
amazing would that have been?
Airplane. That was from Airplane.
Yes. No, this is from a Sith Lord from a.
Is that the guy with like the face paint? Like
Oh
red
no,
and
you're
black?
thinking of Darth
That's
Maul,
Darth Maul.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
not Darth Maul.
Right.
I dressed up as Darth Maul.
This
for
is
Vassar.
guy. Famously, the actor played characters like Dracula.
Oh, is this like Liam Neeson?
No, not Liam Neeson.
It's
I'm
close.
just going to back away from the mic.
You even got a response from the teachers back
All
there.
right. It's Palpatine, right?
No, it's
Oh.
it's
Is it?
Count Dooku.
Oh, Dooku says it. That's
Count
right. He says it in
Dooku.
episode 2.
Yeah,
Really?
Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, he does it.
Exactly.
When they're in the cave,
Hey,
right?
you know what? We don't even need the movie. We have Tony right here.
Right.
I think that
Tony, you should just be on stage and
That's
like
it.
act out all the parts, and the orchestra will back you up.
Boo.
exactly.
He was
Okay.
on. Is it going to count if I say it was on Genosis?
I have no
Is
idea.
that a
what
planet?
means.
Is
Yeah,
that
it was
a
the
planet?
planet. That was the planet with the bug people that they just
It sounds
slice
like
and dice.
It sounds like some kind of disease.
I was just going to
Yeah.
say, I think that's
Genosis.
what's wrong with Felicia's throat.
I'm regaining my voice. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Get your head out of your cockpit. Who said that? That's a quotation. That's not just me talking.
Yep. Oh, man, that's a tough
That was from the most recent film,
Yeah.
The Last Jedi. Who said that?
Boy, I'm not a fan of the most recent one. I've only
Okay.
seen it like twice.
I
yeah.
fell asleep during the most.
I've
recent
only
one.
seen it twice.
That is really bad. I've seen the
Really?
other ones hundreds of times.
Really?
Including The Last Jedi.
Well, it was one of the three main characters. Just take a guess.
Wait,
I'll say
say
Ray.
the quote. No, it doesn't sound like.
I mean, of the
Vader.
three original characters. It was Princess. Oh, did you say Princess Leia? Okay.
I did
It's
not.
Princess Leia.
Princess
Leia.
She's feisty. Like,
Yeah, she is feisty. Speaking of
Cinnamons.
feisty,
Cinnamons.
stop taking my hand. Who is that?
That's Ray.
That's Rey in The Force Awakens. Right? Okay. Be careful not to choke on your aspirations.
ooh.
Be careful not to choke on your aspirations.
Isn't that your Facebook quote?
Yeah. This is actually from Rogue One.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
But an iconic character who appeared in Rogue One. That would be. Anybody got it?
Be careful not to choke. Is it Darth Vader? Is
What?
it, or what is it?
You sounded like Gandalf.
What's that voice?
there.
Careful not to choke on your aspirations. Is that?
Oh, I get it.
That sounded like.
That's a weird Kylo Ren.
That was a
kind of
Kylo
thing.
Ren.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it again.
girl? Yeah.
Think of the money they could have saved if the actor would just walk around with his hand on his face.
It's true though.
You know, instead of using the whole.
I think that's what he did.
I think so.
No, it's scuba.
They just edited
Nice.
it out later.
Yeah.
I want to see that audition tape. Totally. Okay, one thing's for sure: we're all going to be a lot thinner.
Oh man, that's a classic.
Yeah.
Really?
Go ahead.
Who
Felicia.
says it?
You can do this.
No.
It's from the first movie, the
Yeah.
original
Trash
movie.
compactor.
Probably.
Use the
Trash
force.
compactor.
Trash
Think of it,
compactor.
Yeah.
Why are you guys? I don't.
You can do this. We
Who do you-
believe
who
in
do you
you.
think
We're
says
putting
it?
a lot of pressure on you on either side,
I know. I
which
feel
is
it.
really appropriate.
Well, R2D2 looks like a trash compactor. But
No,
that's all.
no.
I wouldn't go there.
No.
Remember-
Oh wait, no. There's a
Have
scene
you
where
seen-
everyone's
Yes.
like,
In a trash compactor,
yeah.
and somebody says, "One thing's for sure: we're all going to be a lot thinner."
Yeah.
Oh,
Who
is it the
Funny guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can picture his face. It's
You're the only person who will
is
be
it
saying
Han
it.
Solo?
Yes.
You know, I always mix up Han Solo and Luke Skywalker. Is that bad?
That is
Yeah,
bad.
it's pretty bad. Yeah.
It's really bad.
Felicia? I mean, have you
How did you
even
make it?
seen
No,
the
no,
movie?
Stop, Zach. Stop. No, but like, I don't know why.
Didn't
but
you say you watched this yesterday? Or-
I don't know anymore.
well, I think that's that's the problem. That's the
one
problem.
is a cowboy. Right.
Okay.
So I mean,
No, no,
he even has like the leather vest and everything. He's a cowboy.
He's a
Yes.
space cowboy,
Space
right?
cowboy.
You know, but
right.
that's why I
It's
think
like Toy Story.
I couldn't remember like watching all of them because I had to immerse my in order to buy into Star Wars, you have to immerse yourself in this new fantasy world, and I live in like the real world.
You do not.
Yes, I do.
Lies.
Wait a second here.
What? I think
Okay.
that's valid.
So
I read nonfiction. What? What? You're deleting this, right, Brad?
No. I'm like ready to pass out
That-
the kazoos at this point.
could be the most condescending thing I've heard all day.
Wait.
Listen, I read nonfiction.
Yeah.
No,
Can
my
you do it?
preference.
That's a really good way
No,
to
but
get out
hold
of a
it.
traffic ticket, by the way.
Felicia,
I've never gotten out of a traffic ticket. I've always gotten them.
But officer, you don't understand. I read nonfiction.
In the real world.
Felicia,
What?
Merwin is
Can you
crying.
do
He's
it?
wiping his eyes.
can you? But can you do it in
Here,
a
tissues.
Kylo Ren voice?
Put your hand
your
over your
hand over
mouth. Right? Put
No,
your hand over your mouth.
no,
Do you have a kazoo?
no, I'm not doing
I
that.
read nonfiction.
I can't do it. Wait. Oh yeah.
No.
Dispose of the traffic ticket.
Jedi mind trick.
No, but I mean, my husband, he's really into like fantasy books and all that, and I'm not. That's where we
Okay.
differ.
Okay, all right. I'm going to go out on a limb here and try to save my colleague.
Yep.
All right.
Hey,
So, growing up, I could not stand watching Star Wars movies
yes,
because I didn't get it. I would.
that's why. Yeah.
I would see these on, all the bootlegs in Tony's basement.
Yes, you guys were just hanging out.
And but it would be the sort of thing where if you just walk in and people are watching Empire Strikes Back and you have no context for it, the movie's been going for about 40 minutes and you just get tired.
Did
So
you
you're
feel
just
like you weren't a part of a club?
didn't get any of the references. I didn't have any of the toys.
Hey, you never
Right?
let that on before.
So,
Why did you just leave?
I'm trying to save you. I'm trying to save you here, okay? So, when the movies were released in the late 90s, I went to go see them, and I'd never understood them before, so I said, this is the way to go see them, is in the theater.
You have to be in the theater. I think that's a big part of it, though, is because you block out the real world in the theater.
Yeah.
And that's where I was
That's
going
true.
with this, is that the real world doesn't come into the theater. So, if you saw this for the first time in a theater or at the Huntington Center,
Yeah, you should go see it at Huntington Center.
it changes your concept of the film entirely.
Is that no? Was this before or after you tried to kill John Williams?
That was before. That was before.
Yeah.
I tried to kill John Williams in 2004, I think,
With your car?
Yeah.
with my car. Yeah, it was
That's like a movie plot right there. Killing John Williams. You'd like have to go back in time.
starring John
Would
Malkovich.
John Malkovich
Yeah.
play you?
You could be like, find a way to stop the Last Jedi from being created. We don't have a composer. Okay.
We need the Wilhelm scream for this.
Yeah.
Go ahead and tell us the story.
But
Oh yeah.
Yeah, story
Zach, now you did try to. You didn't
Well,
try
I
to
didn't
kill him,
intend
but you
to.
had, yeah.
So you've
Vehicular homicide
accidentally
has
hit
some
him
intent.
with a car? I've done that.
No, I did not hit him. I was racing to a meeting with the Handel and Haydn Society, so this gets even dorkier.
Wow.
And
Wow.
I was running late, and I tried to get around a traffic backup in downtown Boston by racing through the little tiny side streets that surround the Boston Common. And in doing so, I was going way too fast. Like, imagine 80 miles an hour on a one-lane narrow street that was only about a block and a half long.
That's
Sounds
what happens
like-
when you hit those land speeders.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And up at the intersection, where I had to make a very quick right in order to beat the traffic that was coming on, there was an old gentleman who had one foot out as if he were going to cross the street, and a handler next to him who basically goes around him from behind and lifts him back onto the curb because this maniac in a car was about to mow him down. And that maniac was me, and I look up, and it's John Williams,
Wow. Was
a
this?
guy
you
that
sure?
I've looked up to my entire life.
Did you like lean out of the window and sorry, Mr. Williams, I gotta go to my Handel and Haydn Society.
That sounds just like Zach.
I was going to say.
Way to make fun of my speech impediment.
I was putting it back to when you were a kid.
So the
It'd be
punchline
great
is
if you were like, you could do your Jar Jar Binks. Hang out the window.
this is what you get, Jar Jar.
It'd be like, almost killed you, I did.
Yeah.
I'll try harder next time.
Yeah.
No, it was.
You need to embellish that story. a
No,
little
so
bit.
I get to H&H, and I said, guys, I'm so sorry, I'm 5 minutes late. I almost
H&H.
killed.
This is just like Skull and Bones.
And the guys at Handel and I said, I almost killed John Williams on my way here, and they just look at me without skipping a beat, and they blink, and they say, why did you stop?
Oh, but he's
I don't like the H&Hers.
Boo on H&H.
Did you quit?
No. He had taken a blood oath.
No, was
Quit.
this,
No one quits the H&H. I pull you
That's
back
what it
in.
says on the way into the concert.
You are going to get into a lot of trouble.
Was this before or after The Last Jedi?
Before.
Before, yeah. See, could have changed history right there. Any other
Yeah, I don't think
other
anyone can
John
top
Williams stories?
Nothing that tops
No,
that.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one wants to follow that story.
Quick little audio quiz.
I do have another John Williams
Okay,
story.
go ahead.
Before I almost killed him.
Is it a true story,
a
or-
true story. Wait, all my stories are true, Cresswell.
This one is true.
They all are.
Okay.
Um,
Just making sure.
So no, I had the pleasure of singing under John Williams' baton.
Ooh.
Wow.
Solo?
No.
Were you supposed to be there? Or?
Was I supposed to be there? No, I was in a symphonic chorale at Boston College, and we did a concert with the Boston Pops, an all John Williams concert. And this is right after Phantom Menace came out, and he had the crazy made-up music to the what's the tree?
The opera symphonic part of it, where they're like,
it's like Cora Mata. And,
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
oh, well, you should sing it.
Nope, we're just gonna leave that one out there. Yeah,
You guys should tag team it.
Yeah, right?
you can
Ready?
take the soprano
One,
line.
2,
Yeah.
3.
No, yeah. That was a setup.
We have professional conductors who can help us get you
Right.
through this. Come on,
Yeah.
let's go.
Come on, we got to finish up
a
this
little pitchy.
podcast
It's a
before
little
Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
No, it was exhilarating. I remember looking at the music saying, what crazy man, like maybe he's finally lost it. He wrote a whole language for this song, and getting into it, like the string work is really, really difficult, and it sets it up. It's just really quick paced stuff. You have played it on FM 91. And then you have these sort of like music coming out on
Love
top of
it.
it. Exactly. Well done, both of you.
Okay, well, that's another 150 right there.
This is not a
But-
broadcast; it's a podcast. We're
Oh,
clear.
that's right.
We're cool.
Oh,
So
that's
but I was very excited because in the middle of that, I realized how great it was and what a fantastic creation that he had just made, and how lucky I felt to be singing it with him. So
yeah.
During Duel of Fates.
It is Duel of Fates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I love
Yeah.
that.
Wow.
I have a color guard routine to that.
Yeah, I have that. I
See,
should
this is
mention,
why
you know,
Felicia and I get along. I'm a marching band guy.
Yes, Tony!
because Tony also has a color guard routine.
I do.
I have a flag at home. I
It
can loan it
doesn't,
to you.
it
Oh,
doesn't,
please.
Doesn't translate. Doesn't translate to the radio.
Oh, yes, you're right.
He can take it on the TV. That's fine.
I met John Williams once. I've told it before that I met him at Tanglewood, which is sort of Boston, Boston West.
Boston West, yeah.
Where the Boston Symphony is there in the summer. And he was there, and it was Leonard Bernstein's 70th birthday. We were putting on a big concert for him, and I ran across John Williams, like going
In a
from
car,
one-
right?
Not like Zach.
Not quite the same as you. No, I bumped into him
Like
at
a
my
tap.
rehearsal. And I just walked up to him and started talking to him, and I said, "Oh, Mr. Williams, I love your music. I really got interested in classical music listening to your film scores. And when I was in junior high, I used to make arrangements of like your themes for a junior high band." And he looked at me very seriously and he said, "That's illegal." And I felt the tears welling up. 'Cause I was like,
How old are you?
I was 25. Actually,
And he reaches into his pocket and he brings out a cease and desist letter.
Yeah,
there you go.
right. No. Then he laughed and he said he was kidding. So
Right.
Oh, no.
It is
felt
illegal,
better
though,
after that.
just so you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did he have his handler with him? The guy who he's
No.
like, hey, I follow John Williams around, and I just make sure he doesn't walk into traffic. He does that all the time.
Exactly.
It's my job.
Handed me an invoice after that.
Oh,
Now, what is this, Rocky Balboa?
I don't know.
What voice? It's a mafia.
Yo,
That's my job. John Williams pays the bills.
Someday I shall save his life.
yeah. Okay, as a final word, unless anybody else has a better final word. No. Oh, hang on, we have to get a clean version of that. We can put on the soundboard.
Really?
Yeah.
Like the pew pew, or you want the lightsaber? Okay.
Oh,
and the R2D2.
We'll take it all.
Your mic is open.
Pew pew. See, that's when I do it. When I'm playing Star Wars, as I do, because I don't read nonfiction.
Is this like in the bathtub?
I do more like a like that, because that's
Wow.
more of an echoey laser.
Yeah.
But everybody does the pew pews now, so that's what it's turned into.
Well, I blame Laura Dern for that. There's that famous, story that she said pew pew when they filmed her, in The Last Jedi. Every time she shot off her gun, she couldn't stop saying pew. And the director was like, don't say it, because we're going to add it later.
So that's why she keeps talking during the shots.
Yeah, that's why you see her lips move sometimes, because she's actually saying pew.
Oh, that's fantastic.
When she's shooting off the gun. Yeah.
Gosh darn it.
Okay. Okay.
Is there supposed to be a quiz or something?
Yeah, the last little audio quiz. Since we only got halfway through the last quiz, we just threw that away. But I have a quick little audio quiz. This is very quick, and this is John Williams' Circle of Fifths. I mean, almost all of his themes have like a major fifth in them, right?
That's right.
So I put a few of these together. I think this falls under fair use.
I'm sorry,
just tell
what did
me,
you just say?
You just tell me what these themes are.
Did you
Okay?
say a
Superman.
major fifth?
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to a perfect fifth?
Star Wars.
Jurassic Park.
Jaws. What is that?
That was just
Jaws.
a buoy, I think, right? That was just a
I think that was
getting
just,
too
Are we
close to
supposed to be
shore.
shouting out answers?
that was just Tony doing another sound
Excuse me.
effect.
Excuse me.
Is that a didgeridoo?
It was
Okay,
That
I'm
was,
going to play him again. Let's see if you can get him in order.
Crocodile Dundee.
Here we go.
Superman. Yeah.
Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park.
E.T. What is that?
That's Close Encounters.
Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Yeah.
Ooh, I've never
sorry.
seen that one.
Yeah.
It was like you're walking around Universal Studios. Yeah. That's what it's like.
Not walking. I think you're going pretty quickly. Yeah. You zip right through the John Williams ride. It lasts 6 seconds. 6 seconds.
Now that's all they have is just like John Williams music playing as you walk around Universal.
Yeah.
You should just go and not ride anything.
They blindfold you.
Is that a Disney?
No.
Put a blind.
Universal
But
Studios.
this is kind of like
Just-
Oh, but it's
Just
a form of torture, too. You can just play this over and over again.
yeah.
But if anybody wants to learn their fifths, this is a good
yeah,
a
that's
good
how
way
I
to-
learned that interval.
amazing.
Just for our music
school.
teachers back here, they can't
can't
hear the
hear
sound
it.
effects, but we're playing like a combination of all the perfect fifths in John Williams' film scores,
So
right?
The perfect fourth
the
is
interesting
a-
though that I've never thought of it this way, but the music from Jurassic Park it fits very well with the space world of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They should switch it up sometimes and see if we can get like Jurassic Park movie. You guys should do this on Saturday. Play the score to Jurassic Park and see if anybody notices.
Yeah,
George Lucas will come out and kill me.
Disney will come
Hit you
out.
with a car. It's okay. I'll grab you from behind and pull you out of the way.
Oh, Brad that doesn't sound like you're really going to do that.
It's like the dark side of the moon, like the dark side of the rainbow, when they play.
Okay.
When
The
they play
third
it.
roar of the lion.
Right, as
Yeah.
soon as you hear it.
I thought you were equating me with the dark side of the moon.
Dark side of the force. Well,
We're getting there.
You admitted
Yeah.
that Darth Vader's your favorite.
I'm so
right.
glad that this is just going on the digital version.
We have now
Our
officially
show.
spoken longer on the non-official version than the official version. I just want to point that out.
Yeah, that's good. Well, we've been having so much fun, but we should wrap it up, don't you think? Unless you just want to stay here until Saturday, we can do that and keep talking. Our first 72-hour
We'll need some sustenance.
72-hour podcast. Well, we have the music teachers here. They'll run out and get stuff for us as we need it. Right. Okay, let's bring it to a close. This program is a production of WGTE Public Media in collaboration with our sponsor, the Toledo Symphony. You can download episodes of this program as a podcast by going to our website at wgte.org/lab. You can also subscribe to us through your podcast app of choice, including both Apple and Google Podcasts. Remember, you can check out all the upcoming events at the Symphony by visiting their website at toledosymphony.com and their various social media outlets on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Again, the concert happening this weekend, Star Wars A New Hope in concert at the Huntington Center, May 4th, Star Wars Day, 8 o'clock p.m. There's a costume contest at 7:15 p.m. at the Huntington Center. More information at toledosymphony.com or call up the box office 419-246-8000. My thanks to our panelists, Zach Vassar, Merwin Sue, Felicia Canny, and our special guest, Tony Geftos. I'm Brad Cresswell, and you've been listening to Toledo Symphony Lab from FM 91.